Let us explore a provocative question at the boundary of chemistry, biology, and philosophy. Do non-living molecules have the ability to feel or synchronize? And could this be a key to how they form biological organisms? At first glance, this idea seems strange. Molecules are inanimate, so how could they display coordinated behavior? But when we examine how life emerges from non-living matter, questions like this become unavoidable. In chemistry, molecules follow the laws of physics. They interact through forces, form bonds, and break apart. These interactions are not conscious in the way we usually think of feeling, yet in living systems, molecules do something extraordinary. They organize into self-sustaining, self-replicating structures. DNA molecules carry information, proteins fold into precise shapes, and membranes form boundary layers, all in service of keeping the organism alive. How do molecules achieve this level of coordination? Is it simply chemistry, or is there a deeper principle at work? One explanation comes from feedback loops. In biological systems, molecules rarely act alone. They are part of networks where the output of one reaction influences the next. For example, in cellular metabolism, the presence of certain molecules can speed up or slow down enzyme activity, maintaining balance. This is a form of self-regulation. Molecules indirectly sense their environment and adjust behavior, not because they have awareness, but because feedback loops encode adaptive response. You might ask, could this kind of molecular coordination exist before life began? The field of origin of play research suggests that it could. Experiments with non-living molecules have shown that under the right conditions, they can self-assemble into structures that resemble components of cells. Lipids naturally form membrane-like vesicles, RNA molecules can self-replicate, and metabolic cycles can emerge spontaneously in the presence of energy sources. These systems may not feel, but they display collective behavior that allows complexity to increase over time. Some scientists propose that molecules can also synchronize through energy flows. For example, oscillating chemical reactions, like the Belousov-Batinsky reaction, produce rhythmic patterns that spread through the medium. In biology, synchronized rhythms are everywhere. Circadian clocks, heartbeat, pacemaker cells, and neural oscillations all rely on collective timing. Could similar principles at the molecular level help explain how simple chemistry became complex biology? This leads to a deeper, more philosophical question. Is feeling a necessary ingredient for life, or does it emerge only later? Most biologists would argue that molecules themselves do not feel. But some researchers in systems biology and complexity science argue that proto-feelings, responsiveness to the environment, may be inherent in self-organizing systems. Molecules that can sense and respond to energy gradients, for example, might have had a selective advantage in the prebiotic world, eventually leading to the feedback-rich networks of living cells. Why does this matter? Because understanding how non-living molecules can spontaneously organize could solve one of the biggest mysteries in science: how life began. It could also help us design synthetic life, or smart molecular machines capable of adapting to their environment. Imagine a droplet containing hundreds of interacting molecules. Initially, everything moves randomly, but as energy flows through the system, patterns form. Some molecules stabilize the droplet, others replicate, and feedback loops emerge. Over time, the droplet becomes more complex, a tiny step toward life. This scenario may be closer to reality than we think, and studying it could reveal the hidden principles of organization that bridge non-life and life. The question of whether molecules can feel remains poetic, but their ability to synchronize and form feedback loops is real, and may be the very process that transforms simple chemistry into the first sparks of biology. Living organisms are composed of non-living molecules, yet they exhibit properties far beyond the sum of their parts. These properties include metabolism, self-replication, adaptation, and response to stimuli. The transition from inert chemistry to life is one of the most profound scientific mysteries. Many researchers hypothesize that life emerges when molecules self-organize into dynamic networks capable of energy processing and information storage. This raises the question, Can molecules themselves synchronize in ways that resemble feeling or collective awareness? The RNA world hypothesis suggests that simple RNA molecules both stored information and catalyzed reactions, bridging chemistry and biology. It is like a pile of bricks, spontaneously organizing into a house with doors and windows. Molecules often display synchronized behavior in chemical systems. Oscillating reactions, such as the Blusev-Zhabotinsky-BZ reaction, demonstrate how molecules can cycle in rhythmic patterns. In biology, synchronization appears in heart cells, neurons, and circadian rhythms, showing that coordinated molecular action is essential for life. This synchronization arises from feedback loops and energy flow through open systems. The question is whether these chemical oscillations are a precursor to the complexity of living organisms. In the BZ reaction, color waves ripple through the medium as molecules cycle in a coordinated chemical dance. It is like a crowd clapping in perfect unison without a conductor. Feedback loops occur when the product of a process influences its own production, either amplifying positive feedback or stabilizing negative feedback. These loops are key to self-organization, allowing molecules to form stable yet dynamic networks. Biological cells used feedback loops for everything from gene regulation to maintaining pH levels. Non-living systems too can exhibit feedback, suggesting it may be a fundamental organizing principle. Feedback enables molecules to sense and respond to their environment. Glycolysis in living cells is regulated by feedback loops that maintain energy balance. It is like a thermostat that adjusts heating based on the room temperature. Molecules can influence each other through signaling, binding, and catalysis. In autocatalytic networks, certain molecules promote the production of others, leading to exponential growth and diversification. When multiple molecular species participate, complex behavior can emerge from simple interactions. This collective behavior may lay the foundation for cellular metabolism and replication. Communication is thus a key factor in the transition from non-living to living systems. Quorum sensing in bacteria allows individual cells to coordinate behavior based on population density. It is like fireflies synchronizing their flashes to form a collective light show. And so, molecules do not feel emotions or sensations as organisms do, but they can respond to energy gradients and chemical environments. These responses are driven by physics and chemistry, not consciousness. However, from a systems perspective, their collective interactions can mimic goal-subjected behavior. This raises philosophical questions about whether feedback-driven adaptation in molecular systems is a primitive form of awareness. Such questions challenge the strict divide between living and non-living matter. Protein molecules fold into precise shapes in response to their chemical environment, enabling specific functions. It is like a lock automatically snapping shut when the right key is inserted. Origin of life theories often invoke synchronized molecular networks as the first step toward biology. Lipid molecules, for instance, spontaneously form bilayers, creating cell-like compartments. These compartments can concentrate molecules and foster cooperative reactions. Over time, synchronized molecular systems could evolve into protocells capable of metabolism and replication. The leap from chemistry to biology may thus rely on collective molecular order. Fatty acid vesicles can grow and divide in laboratory experiments, mimicking primitive cells. It is like soap bubbles splitting and merging to form more complex structures. Some researchers suggest that molecular synchronization may extend to the quantum scale. Quantum coherence and electromagnetic fields could allow molecules to sense each other across distances. While speculative, these effects might explain the highly efficient energy transfer in photosynthesis and other biological processes. Such phenomena could also enhance synchronization in prebiotic chemistry. This area remains controversial but offers a potential link between physics and the emergence of life. In photosynthesis, excitons move through protein complexes with near-perfect efficiency, suggesting quantum coherence. It is like a relay race, where runners somehow know the exact moment to pass the baton. Once life emerged, feedback loops became central to evolution and complexity. Positive feedback can drive rapid innovation, while negative feedback stabilizes ecosystems. Genes and proteins regulate each other through intricate networks of feedback, creating adaptive systems. Evolution itself is a feedback process, where success or failure in reproduction alters the genetic pool. This perspective suggests that the principles of synchronization and feedback underpin not just life's origin, but its ongoing evolution. Predator-prey cycles in ecosystems demonstrate feedback between populations. It is like two dancers adjusting their movements in real time to stay in rhythm. The idea that molecules can synchronize and self-organize challenges the notion of life as a sharp boundary. It suggests a continuum between simple chemistry and complex biology. This raises deep questions. Is life an inevitable outcome of molecular self-organization under the right conditions? Could feedback loops and synchronization be the universal feelers of matter? Understanding these principles could advance synthetic biology and the search for extraterrestrial life. Laboratory-created protocells blur the line between living and non-living, supporting the continuum hypothesis. It is like watching letters randomly arrange into meaningful words when given enough time and structure. To what point are you like,